Again, we're going to learn how to factor a quadratic here. I call this a type 2 quadratic. The type 2 quadratic specifically has a positive and then a negative. So here I have my positive and my negative term. So the one that I'm going to factor here is going to be 14k squared minus 67k plus 63. I'm going to go ahead and go through my steps. Step 1 says make a roof. So that means take this 14 times this 63. So if I take 14 times 63, I'm going to get 882. That's a huge number. So over here, I'm going to go and I'm going to say 882 because step 2 says factor the roof. So I'm going to go ahead and factor the roof. Now there are tons of factors because this is such a big number. I just went online and I went on to Google and I said factor 882, and what I got was 1882, 2 with 441, 3 with 294, 6 with 147, 7 with 126, 9 with 98. Then I have 14 times 63 and 18 times 49 and 21 times 42. Again, this is a type 2 system. So my type 2 system, I need to have my hint, my step 3 hint. So the hint that I'm going to give you is I need to find factors that add. So add the factors to get the middle term. So what's my middle term? 67. Add the factors to get 67. But make both negative. Okay, so let's figure out which ones add up. I already did this for you. I found that 18 and 49, when I add them up, so 18 plus 49 is going to equal 67. But look at this, I need it to be negative. So I'm going to make both of these negative. I'm going to split this apart, and I'm going to say I have a negative 18 and I have a negative 49. Well, again, I have to have my k's here, my k here, and then I can't forget what I left off. So 14k squared plus 63. Done with step 3. Step 4 says group and factor. So I'm going to group this first guy, and I'm going to go ahead and factor him. What can I take out of 14 and 18? Just a 2. What can I take out of k squared and k? Well, I can take a k. So I have 2k out. So that's going to be 7k left minus 9. Because these guys cross. Oh, this guy was supposed to be grouped. And I take, well, since he's negative, I'm going to take a negative 7. And I can also take a 7 from here. So take a negative 7. What's 49 divided by 7? That's going to be 7k plus, and then 63 divided by, negative 7. So I messed up this one because a positive divided by negative should be a negative. So 63 divided by negative 7 is negative 9. You check. Are these the same? Good. We're on the right track. Since they're the same, I'm going to go ahead and write it just once. And then I'm going to have what's left over, which is my 2k and my negative 7. So I have 2k minus 7. That's my final step right there. That is my factors. These are my factors. So 7k minus 9 and 2k minus 7. These two factors equal this equation here. Again, I still have my last step. My last step is to confirm this with distribution. So I take my 7k into my 2k. That gives me 14k squared. And then I take my 7 to the 7, so that gives me negative 49k. 9 times 2, negative 18k. And negative times a negative is a positive, and that's going to be positive 63. Combine my like terms right here. Two negatives, I add them, I keep the negative, so that's going to be negative 67k plus 63. And I have 14k squared here. This looks exactly the same. So I've done it correctly.